Hello and welcome everyone to the Kansas City Star's live election update at noon. I'm breaking news editor Ian Cummings here to bring you this update with a group of reporters who are out at polling places across the Kansas City metro area. We're going to have Luke Nozica, who's at Arrowhead Stadium, which has been designated a polling place for this election day. We're going to have Anna Spurry, who is at Metropolitan Community College Penn Valley in Kansas City. And we're going to have Lisa Gutierrez, who is at the Sylvester Powell Community Center in Mission. We're going to get a quick update on what is happening at the polling places right now, what's been happening this morning. We're going to hear from each reporter in turn, and then we're going to be back with you later this afternoon and throughout the evening as the Star brings live election coverage. Let's begin with Luke. You've been at Arrowhead Stadium this morning. Tell me what's been happening out there. What are you seeing, and show us around a little bit.
Yeah, so I am here at Arrowhead. I hope you can hear me okay. They've been playing different music and such all morning. But yeah, hundreds of people have voted out here this morning. Up until 9 a.m., the estimate was that it was between 500 and 1,000 people came out here to cast their ballot. And, among those voters was the Chiefs coach, the team's president, and Kansas City Mayor Quinn Lucas, who was out here talking to voters and reporters about the importance of getting out and voting today. So the line here moved fairly quickly. The mayor said that there were longer lines in other parts of the city, particularly in the Northland, but things seemed to move here pretty fast. Everyone was masked up. People were keeping socially distanced. So earlier this morning, the stadium reported that they had a wait time of about 10 minutes. The mayor reported that it took him less than 15 minutes to cast his ballot. So this location, and I'll show you all around in a bit, but registered voters who live in Kansas City, the Kansas City section of Jackson County, can vote here. The team's president, Mark Donovan, when he spoke with reporters earlier today, he basically said that the overwhelming response was positive, and that, quote, "We've got to vote here more often," is what he heard people say. And he said he wished more people knew about the possibility of voting at Arrowhead, obviously home to the Chiefs. And he said, quote, "If you're eligible to vote at Arrowhead, still come out, please, today." So let me turn the camera here, and I'll show you all around.
Thank you for that. And we did hear that they're encouraging people to go out there. It sounds like the wait has not been very long most of the day there. We are not hearing people having a lot of trouble getting in and out. But so let's take a look at what you've got there.
Yeah. I honestly don't see a line at this point. Things are pretty smooth here. There were several Chiefs representatives out, including cheerleaders, just talking to voters.
Casey Wolf was there.
Casey Wolf was out taking pictures with people. I saw Coach Reed take a few photographs. This is the scene here.
Okay. Well, Luke, thank you for being out there and bringing us that report. We'll be out around town checking other polling places. We'll bring another report this afternoon. But let's go to Anna, who's at MCC Penn Valley. Anna, what have you been seeing out there today?
Hi, Ian. I started my day at the Tony Aguirre Community Center over on the west side. And there were a few hundred people at least lined up at 6 a.m. ready to vote already. But it seems like that line went by pretty quickly. A lot of the people who were in line at 6 were back out the door by 7. And from there, it seems like the line just got shorter. By the time I left around 9, there was no line left out the door. But when I was there, some volunteers had been over at the Metropolitan Community College at Penn Valley and said there was a pretty long line here too this morning. I got here probably around 10, and it's pretty much the same situation as over on the west side. There's no line out the door anymore. People are going in and out within a couple minutes. As far as any concerns around the pandemic, I haven't talked to a single voter yet who said that they had any serious concerns when they went in. They said everyone was keeping socially distanced in line, and when they were at the polls, everybody's been wearing masks, and there's some plexiglass that was set up between poll workers and voters. So they were pretty happy to experience that, is what I was hearing.
So we're seeing a lot of people lined up very early in the morning, but not really long lines since then.
Yeah, I heard 9 o'clock was about the sweet spot for when the lines just kind of disappeared, which I guess would match up with when people are going to work typically.
Right.
It looks like we've got a steady stream coming in and out here at the community college, but again, no line. I think it's probably going to pick up a little bit around lunchtime, though, is what I'm hearing.
Well, do you want to show us around a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll give Anna a chance to get the camera turned around. That's mainly what we've been hearing around the metro area today, is that a lot of people got out to line up very early in the morning when polls opened. There have been some reports of longer lines in the Northland and other parts of the metro, but we're not seeing it a lot in Kansas City so far. And Anna's got a picture for us here.
Yeah, so from what I was hearing, there was a line, out the door and down the sidewalk this morning. As you can see, we've got some volunteers here. Actually, Ryan Dirks just showed up a couple minutes ago, and he's here with some other, I'm assuming, members of his campaign, just talking to people as they walk in. He was passing out hand sanitizer wipes too. But yeah, it's, like you said, pretty quiet for the most part right now.
Okay, well, Anna, thank you for that. We'll keep on the watch, and we'll be going around polling places in the metro area, seeing how things are going. I should say real quickly to viewers, if you see long lines or any story tips or things you think we should look into, you can tag the KC Star on Twitter, tweet at us at KC Star, or you can just send me an email, icummings@kcstar.com, ICUMMINGS at kcstar.com, and we'll get a reporter to check it out. Let's go to Lisa at the Sylvester Powell Community Center in Mission. Lisa, what are you seeing there?
Hi, guys. Well, not to be repetitive, but there have been a steady stream of voters in the 2 or 3 places that I've already visited this morning in Johnson County. At a couple of places, the poll workers said that people were lined up first thing this morning, but they've been able to get them in and get them out very quickly. In fact, the longest line that I've seen here in Johnson County was at a Harvester's food distribution site at a Overland Park church. And there were cars lined up around the block. And of course, I had to stop and see what the fuss was about. And it was Harvester's food distribution site. And I thought that was just a stark reminder of what's going on in this country right now while people are voting today. Here in Johnson County, just like across the metro, they've really been focused on keeping everyone safe during COVID. That's something that I've been talking to a lot of people about. No reports of anybody trying to walk in without a mask. That's good news. When you walk into a polling place in Johnson County, you get an individually wrapped stylus to use on the voting machine, so you don't have to physically touch the touch screen. And as Anna reported, here in Johnson County, the poll workers who check you in sit behind big sheets of plexiglass. And at some of the locations, actually 2 of them that I've been to, they won't even let you in to line up to check in. They're trying to keep everybody outside. But again, I haven't really seen any long lines here. Everything seems to be moving pretty smoothly. And that apparently is because so many people took advantage of early voting and mail-in voting, which the poll workers think is good news, that people that will keep the lines keep the lines short today. I haven't really talked to anybody yet here about stress, or at least I haven't heard that many people are stressed out. We've been seeing a lot of national polls that this election cycle, coupled with the pandemic, has a lot of people across the country really stressed out, losing sleep, losing friends, losing relationships with family workers because of political disagreements. And I really haven't found that a lot of people here are concerned about that, although I did speak to one just a little while ago, and she said that she just bought a house south of Johnson County, about an hour south of Kansas City, and she's going to hide there tonight because she's afraid of what might happen given either result of the presidential election. So she did have some concerns about what might happen later on, but So far we haven't seen anything like that. The most intimidating thing I've seen at any polling place here in Overland Park are the bees that keep buzzing around my head here in Mission. But other than that, really haven't seen much of anything else. And if you want to take a look at what's going on here at the lunch hour, I can swing the camera around for you.
Yes, please avoid the bees and let's have a look at the scene there. We don't want to get stung by bees while we're giving the report. But yeah, so it sounds like so far a lot of polling places, things are going relatively smoothly. And so Lisa, let's see, getting it turned around there. But that's what we've heard. So far, most of the polling places, we don't see people waiting in line too much. We'll see how that goes throughout the day. And
having a little trouble with my camera here.
Our next report will be at 5 p.m. and we'll have the same reporters at different poll stations, and we'll see what's happening at that point. Lisa, are you ready to show us something now?
Yeah, hold on just a second.
All right. And so, as I said, anyone who sees any story tips or observations, you want to get in touch with us, tag us on Twitter, send an email to me personally at icummmings@kcstar.com.
Did that get turned around for you? No.
We'll be looking for any news out of the polling sites. And well, Lisa, we'll give you a chance to get that worked out, and we'll just do that in the next report.
Sounds good.
But thank you so much for being out there and bringing us the news. Thank you to Anna and to Luke for this update. Kansas City metro area, let us know anything that we should check out, and we will be back with you for another live report at 5 p.m. Reporters, thank you. Viewers, thank you, and we will see you at the next report.